Hello, welcome to the tutorials video of the Schedule 3 automation tool. In this video, we will see the basics of the trial balance. So basically trial balance is the engine of this entire financial automation tool. So it is very important you understand this in very detail. So here there are three types of grouping. First one is the financial grouping, based on which the financial balance sheet, P&L, schedules and annexures will be generated. And the second one is your ITR grouping, based on which the ITR balance sheet P&L is going to be generated. And third one is your cash flow grouping. Very unique conceptual we have followed for the cash flow and for which grouping is given in the trial balance itself. Now let us begin with the start itself. So here when you import data from Tally, first two column is going to be captured automatically. This is the two level of grouping from the Tally itself. Then there is a third column for the final group codes. So this is a group codes that we have defined in this automation tool. You need not to remember anything. Once your grouping is done, then this group codes will automatically assign. Then there is the name of ledger column. When you import data from Tally or Excel DB, it is going to be captured over here. Then there is this column for the amount. So this is for the current year column. There is no separate column for debit and credit. In the single column, debit is going to be the positive and credit is going to be the negative. Then there is this financial grouping which I was talking about. This financial grouping is divided into this four level. Phase grouping for the phase of the balance sheet and P&L. You need to select from the drop down list. Once you select that, the node grouping you will be able to select. Like here I have selected the other expenses. So I will be able to select the subcategories under the other expenses. So here drop down list is given over there. Then if you want to define subnode grouping, so under the professional fees, if you want to further break down over there that this is the advocate payment to the advocate, this is payment to the auditor, this is for the GST, this is for the TDS, that you can select over here. So subnode grouping is open-ended, whatever you want to define over there you can. Then annexure grouping is for the annexure preparation. So by default it is going to capture the name of ledger. Whatever you want to write, if you want to overwrite, you can actually change that as well. Then there is this ITR grouping. In the ITR grouping, actually there is a two level of grouping. Level 1 is going to come automatically. You need not to select anything over there. And level 2 grouping for the ITR, it is need not to be done for all the ledgers wherever cell color is being converted into red. As of now, I have kept pending for this two ledger. So it is here cell color is converted into red. So we need to select from the drop down list. Now why it is coming? So professional fees is the expense in the financial we show as a professional fees. But in the ITR, we need to show whether it is being paid outside India, is it paid to others, or is it paid to the non-resident which are other than company or something. So whatever additional classification from ITR point of view is required, that we need to select over here. Further, if I just show it to you, this also I can select. So from ITR point of view, wherever there is additional grouping is being required, that we need to select at ITR level 2. This all grouping is only a one-time grouping. Whenever there is a change in the data or when you are preparing for the next year, you will only have to do grouping for the incremental edges. Now if we come in the right further, there is this again some amount column is coming, then phase grouping, node grouping, subnode grouping and annexure grouping is coming. This is for what? This is for the previous year, because for the previous year in the company's financial is compulsory, so that entire data will be captured over here. Now the process is that when you are preparing first time financial for the company in this automation tool, you need to first import for the previous year data, you need to complete the grouping, and then you just click on this button, move current year data to previous year. So are you sure to shift this data into the previous year? If you select yes, your entire data will get shifted into the previous year. Now whatever grouping that we have done, that for all the ledgers is going to remain as it is over here, and my entire data is now has been shifted into the previous year. So you can see over here, this is the previous year amount column, phase grouping, node grouping, subnode grouping. So the grouping for the current year as well as for the previous year is independent. Both are at the separate places. So if you want to change afterwards, that also you can do it. Then if we come in the right, there is a cash flow grouping which I was talking about. Cash flow is also going to be generated in this automation tool from the trial balance, and to generate 1 year's cash flow, you would require 2 years trial balance. So we have a previous year as well as current year, based on which this cash flow level 1 grouping is already being assigned. Level 2 grouping is being required at certain cases. There also conceptual is same as what we have for the ITR level 2. Cell color will convert it into red so that we can select from the drop down list where we want to classify. Now why this comes? Like this is additionally from cash flow point of view, we would require a classification, because there is a separate treatment for each type of thing, like bad debts, provision for doubtful debts. This is something which is we are going to add in the indirect expense or in the indirect expense method of the cash flow that we can select over here. So once you select this, based on this, and all things will be classified into the investing, operating and financing activity. Now if we come further right, there is a amount column again, then there is a phase grouping. So this is for what? As I said, cash flow, when you want to generate, you would require 2 years trial balance. So when you want to generate a cash flow for the previous year, you would require preceding previous year. So for that we have this. Here also again for the previous year cash flow grouping, there is a level 1 grouping and then there is a level 2 grouping. Level 2 grouping, at certain cases we will have to select, so that you can select from here. Then there are certain extra columns that we have given. This is actually, here you cannot add the columns. So we have given you 3 extra columns which you can utilize for any other purpose. Like certain bank ledgers are there while audit is in the process. If you want to just put the note that there is a ledger confirmation is pending for few ledgers, there is need to be checked, the balance confirmation is pending, that you can write it down over here. So this is basically the entire trial balance columns that I have explained to you. Now let me explain you certain tabs which are there. The grouping which I have explained you, if you want to understand further in detail, there is one tab given, grouping logic. When you click on this button, it will give it to you all this which thing I have explained to you. Then there is a hint button. In this, when you click on this button, it will give you all the shortcuts which are being defined in this automation tool. So this is all shortcut you can utilize when you are using this automation tool. Then when you are using this tool first time and you want, if you are getting any error while importing data from Tally, just click on this button, Tally settings. Chances are that you have not done the Tally settings. So all the Tally settings based on your Excel version, it will just notify to you. In case you are using RDP system, remote desktop system, you need to put the basic port in Tally as well as in Excel, that you can change it up from here. Import from Tally is already given, you know that when you want to import data, you can use that. Apply default grouping is also for when you want to do the grouping automated using that option. Group code I have explained you, this group code. Actually, what is the thing, when your grouping is complete, you can click on this button, apply group code. So this group code will automatically be assigned over here. This in future will be very useful. We'll see that thing also. Excel DB, when you don't have data in Tally Prime, you can use this Excel DB to import data from Excel trial balance. Yeah, this move current year data to previous year we have seen. Delete zero balance ledger is for what? So if you see over here, the trial balance gets merged one after one whenever there is a change in the data. So after 2-3 years, there might be a chances that there is a no balance, there is a zero balance ledgers getting accumulated. So we don't want to keep those details. You can click on this button. If you want to delete that particular row, you can click on this delete zero balance ledger. So all those unnecessary rows will get deleted. This CFS user guide is also available, like how you can prepare the cash flow, that has also been explained over here. Yeah, so this is the entire trial balance thing which I have explained you. There is one more thing, let me just show it to you. On the phase grouping and the node grouping, you can select any phase grouping and node grouping and just press Ctrl G. So what is the thing? It will just give you the short guidance note. Guidance note is the institute is releasing guidance note on each of their subject matter. So on the schedule 3 they have released the guidance note. So from that guidance note we have taken up short guidance note on the each respective subject, on each respective grouping. Let us say that on the other expense we have seen. Now let us take one more example, like let us select the trade payable. I'll press a Ctrl G. So it says that under the guidance note number 8.4.1, this is something which is being written. So this is also when you are using this tool, if you want to take a reference of the guidance note, you can just press a Ctrl G. So this is the basics of the trial balance use. Hope you will use this tool very enjoyfully. Thanks.